So today we'll be looking. All right, guys, welcome back. This is DEFISIL Podcast. So today we're going to be looking at another women make both single and married women single. What does that mean? It simply means that or majority of women whom you see that are actually losing their marriages today is actually they were they lost such marriages because they had friends or they listened to advice or they end from divorced ladies or divorced women whom saw it that their own home. So this is how, and this has repeated itself numerous occasions that that is littered. I can use the word that is littered all over the whole world, all over the whole place. You understand? So this is something that is a very crucial issue, that when it comes to relationship and who is never married and you believe in marriage, and as well as you want your marriage to work, you must be very careful with female divorcees. Then this includes them, even if they are, be very careful with them. Now, when we say be very careful with them, we are not saying that you should avoid them like a plague. No, what we are trying to say here is that you should be very careful with the access you grant them at your relationship and marital issues. That means anything that has to do with marital, a citadel for advice, or as a refuge towards to get advice as regards relationship and marriage. That if you look at currently now, we have that has been in the game for has been singing for over 15 years, popularly known as Two-Face Idibia. That's his stage name, and he's known both in Nigeria and across the globe by many. Maybe some Gen Zs may not know him, but those of us who came before the Gen Z, currently ongoing between himself and his wife. And he dropped he notified the public that he's currently parting ways with his wife, Annie Macaulay. And before you see it, while the woman was yet to respond, her two friends, who happened to be one happened to be a divorcee, and the other happened to be a single mother, you see that they jump out on social media and be calling the man names, be saying all kind of things. You understand? Your wife, calling you names, all sort of names, simply because you are divorcing. They are used as footmat to her friends who are the single mothers and the divorcees that I do not want to mention their names. You understand? Now, If not, if such is not happening, there is no way. If you have not what belittled yourself, you've been brainwashed, and based on that brainwash, you've belittled yourself, and people. You understand? So this one thing that you must what, that you must actually what put into consideration as a man in this, that she's surrounded by her league of friends, divorcees and single mothers. It is either you cut yourself off, you cut your wife off, that soon start having what challenges. It's a promise that I can actually what give to you about relationship, about dating. It's not, you understand, ladies. Now, if we go further, you discover that from all analysis, female divorcees are known not to take uh, uh, they are known not to take consequences for this as to what cost them their own marriage. That means what made them to what to lose their own marriage. That's one thing that you must actually understand. I discovered that younger single ladies, divorcees, they don't tell their they don't tell young ladies who are about to marry, or the ones who marriages already, that are having issues or challenges with their marriage. They don't tell them that, listen, this was what cost me my deed. This was what I did wrong. You see that it's all over the place that they don't. In fact, they tell you that they didn't do anything, that they were right all along before the marriage parted, that every fault that made the marriage to part was what that does not happen from female divorcees. You understand? However, you discover that when men actually what divorce, the reverse is the case. Men come out and they tell single men who are not yet married, or maybe those who are in relation, most that those who are in relationship, those who are not even in relationship, and those who are married, they tell they tell them that, listen, this was what made me to lose my marriage. This was what I did wrong. If I had did this, you discover all those kind of things, that why the male divorcees come outside to say all of such. The female divorcees, on the other hand, they are parallel when it comes to accountability. Female divorcees, in fact, not in consonant with with accountability. You understand? So this is the reason why, if you, as a young lady, either you are not married or you are married, you must be very careful with taking female divorcees as friends, and giving them the kind of things and topics you grant them access to, as regard your life and your relationship, as well as your marriage. You must be very careful, else they will help you to ruin your. That is that the is a concept of misery. They love company. You understand? Misery loves company, and based on the fact that they failed, women, you discover that majority of them, when they failed, they don't want others to succeed. They want others to also fail, just like the way they themselves failed. So that is the philosophy behind all these things that you actually see happening in with female divorcees, and how they to other women who are still in relationship, or who are still actually dating, have marriage, or who have successful marriages. They try to want to make friends with them, and destroy their home. That is, these are just example. Then another example, I think this will now be example 3. Example 3 is that common feature is that these divorcees, they create chaos between these married women and their husbands with the intention that eventually, if the marriage, if they are friends, marriage eventually what crashes. Now this is how they do among yourself. And if you find yourself that maybe you are a woman who is you have tell stories about either how good your husband is or how bad your husband is, you're always telling that a day will also come that when your husband does a particular bad thing, maybe he hurts you and you are pained, there's likely possibility also reach out your friend who is a divorcee or who is a single mother, and you tell him what that your husband did to you. And based on the fact that you've told him the good things about your husband in time past, he has been nurturing. Man is no man with shortcomings. They are born with imperfections. Humans are a species of imperfection. Strategize on his own, of your home. And by the time your home degenerates like that, the next thing, if it's even lucky, he can even tell you, that your friend who is a single mother, your husband, maybe it might amaze becomes the new wife. By that time, you would have mortgaged your marriage for a piece of cake. Problem, marriages are failed and they refuse to. Let me tell you something. You see, marriage is a two union something. It's a two place of the team leader and the team subordinate and the assistant team leader and such like that. That means in a team, everyone has a unique role that he's expected to play. If everyone plays their unique role well, there would be no issue in the team. It also means that the team will to greater glory and stuff like that. However, I've also said in time past on this particular podcast that even if God creates an angel in him or her down to you, and he also created you, another perfect angel, and he brought the both, or that marriage will still not work. It's the deliberate effort, not just effort, deliberate effort of, number one, deliberate commitment, deliberate selflessness, and deliberate kindness. These are the three main umbrella that every marriage needs to succeed. Deliberate selflessness. You see in the team, you see that the team should come. Kindness. You are kind to yourself and also kind to your second, the second team member who happen to be your husband or your wife. Then maybe your children love themselves. I'm telling you this, two people who do not love themselves, with commitment, these two people can get married and their marriage will stand the test of time than the two people who love themselves and there is no kindness. Their marriage will crash and it will pack up. You understand? So this also means that it is not just love. Love is not something. I talk of selflessness. We see selflessness. I'm supposed to drink water. I'm supposed to drink a can of water. Maybe I have this can of water to drink in a state that he needs the water more than I do. This person needs it more than I do. Now remember, not that I do not need it, but from what I'm saying, this person needs it more than I do. So I was putting that particular person first. So if every man is selfless in his home will not fail. If every woman is selfless in her home will not fail. And this is where we are having a lot of problem. Although I'm not saying that all men are selfless, but when we can talk issue of selflessness, majority of women are not selfless in the challenge in the family that they can sort while the husband is away, or the is not too strong at that particular moment financially, but they will still wait that the man should sweat to look forward to marriages. You see, majority of women are not so committed. And the same thing is also affecting those who are in relationships now. Majority of people who are not married now, it is commitment that is affecting them. As an issue of commitment. Because you have a boyfriend, let's assume that maybe all through the day he didn't call you. Because he didn't call you, say, oh, he's talked to me, he has not called me, he has not messaged me somewhere, throughout the day. You don't even know if his phone is actually on. Or he lost his phone during the day. You understand? So, but you've not done all this. You've jumped into conclusion that this particular philosophy that you already have at this moment, you discover that you make wrong decisions, make wrong assertions, and you destroy the whatever long this thing that you've built, you destroy it. So these are some of the ways that you discover that deliberate divorced women make both single, you're a married woman, or you are a lady who is not married and you believe in marriage, you want your marriage to work, you want your relationship to work. Be very careful with the kind of relationship and the kind of topic you invite female divorcees into. That is as regard your relationship and as regard your marriage. If you had any issue that has to do with your own marriage or your home, give you advice or to give you counsel, or even single mothers. Now, not that I don't hate them. I have no problem with them. And let me even bust your brain. Don't think that maybe because I'm saying this now, then it seems that maybe no. It's not far from. It's not this. However, it's a philosophy. You need to get these problems resolved both on short term and on the long term. So this is where we draw the curtain for now. And if you have any question, you can functional relationship for people to have functional and relationship that society will be proud of. Relationship that will be on TikTok, on Rumble, on Instagram, on X, everything that has to do with you as regard your relationship and your marriage. This is Deficit Podcast, and I would talk to you